Welcome to week 2 assignment. This week we are to construct API documentation using Swagger data will include a route for get all, get by ID, put that is to update, post that is to create and delete record of an individual. This is a continuation of week 1's assignment on contact. So let's get the ball rolling by moving straight to our VS Code. So as usual, I had my data or my database which has a field of first name, last name, email, favorite color, birthday, and this is successfully imported to my MongoDB using my compacts where I use the add data to successfully add this data to my MongoDB. Alright, so I then move on to create a swagger.js file. And the swagger.js file is going to connect my code to my Swagger UI, and it's going to provide me the access to the endpoint that I'll need to access the page for the testing of my various APIs. So as part of that, I needed to install packages like Swagger Autogen and Swagger UI Express, Swagger.json, and they are all going to help me um, with the necessary functionality in relation to Swagger. For instance, the JSON will help Swagger read files that are saved in JSON format. Then I move to my route, and within my route I'm going to create some routes too. So for instance, the most important one is the API doc. So this is going to help me connect, or this endpoint is going to lead me to the interface where I'll be testing my API. So I equally imported packages like Express and UI Express and stuff like that. Okay, then I move to index. So index is going to update my, or is going to connect my Swagger. So it's a part that will make reference to my Swagger, I should say. So I just updated that one with this line of code. Then the server. So the server, I just have some heads. I set some heads to control that, and I also yes, yes. So that is just a small update I did on the server. So just to have this to give me some headers. Okay. Then so the database will surely connect my JSON contacts, or the data I have stored here in contact.json to my MongoDB. All right. Then in controllers, that is contact, that is where I perform the various functionality. So from last week we did get all and get single. This week I'll continue with create account, which is the post method, and this is the code that will give me that. Then I have my updates. So this whole post will also update the record of an individual. Then the last one is delete. So you can also delete the record of an individual. Yes, so that is that. Then I also created a REST file. So the REST file is going to help me test for all the APIs internally here in my VS Code. So if I run that, so before then, let me get my server running. So if I do np start, my server is running. So if I'm being told my server is connected, yeah, so I can't, let's say if I say get all contact, when I click on that, it gives me every contact that I need. Okay, but that is not the bin for this assignment, so I'm not going to waste time here to test all the other APIs, because I'll be doing that in the Swagger UI platform. Okay, so now that it's working. So for me to get this swagger.json file included in my files here, I need to run swagger node.swagger JS, and when I run that, I get this file. Okay, so this file will come, and I changed the host name to my render name, or the domain for my render, and this can be found when I visit my render page, and I have it there. So whichever commit I do in um, VS Code to GitHub, render automatically picks it. So the last commit I did was named HTTPS. So that is what is being recorded here under my project in render. So if I pick this domain name, that is the domain name assigned to my account. If I pick it and test in any other browser, I should be able to see that. So the domain name without any endpoint is actually the default page. So for my default page, I should see welcome to the contact API. So if I input the domain name I copied from render, so this, I should say welcome to the contact API. So that is the default page. So the route I created, that is the default page. The first page normally takes some time, but it usually pop up. Yes, so it's popping up, meaning that my default page is working. Now I'm going to add the endpoint / API docs, which will now take me to the Swagger platform. Okay, so here I can test all the functionalities that I want to. Okay, so first I need to test my default page, so I get and try it out and execute. So in my response body, I should see whatever is written in the default page, and that is that. So it means that it works properly. So I can close that. Now I go to contact. So this contact is to give me everything in my data. Okay, so if I try that one here, everything that is storing MongoDB should be here. So I see that any part, whatever. So there are a lot of them. So let's take note of the last one. So the last person is Smart Store. Okay, so that is that. So I have that one to work perfectly. Then post. So I'm going to create a new account or a new record for an individual. So this is the field I'm supposed to fill. Okay, so in order to beat time, I have some record here already. Let me just copy that here. Come straight. So let's look at the name John Doe. Okay, so we are going to have John Doe here. So John Doe. So I paste that. Okay, in order to be sure, let's see, let's go to contact and check whether we have John Doe, so that we are not confused. So if you go through that, you see that we don't have John Doe as part of our database here. Okay, so the last one. So the last person is Smart. So after we successfully add in that, I want to execute that, and we should see, yes, so we see that John Doe is created successfully. So let's go back to that. So let's execute that. Once we execute that, the last entry should be John Doe. Yes, it can be seen there. So I mean that it works perfectly. Okay. All right. So I will now have to go to, so let's fill that one out. So let me go to contact, copy the ID for, let's say, part. I'm going to copy the ID for part. I'll copy it. So when I come to get by ID, so I want to just show the record of part. So let me paste her ID here and execute. So I see that part everything shows there nicely, and it's also working. Now if I want to put, so now I want to update a record. So let's say I would want to change the color So let's maybe the one I copied, that will be faster. So I copy this. I want to change. So I want to change some field of the person. So maybe the John will now be done. Then the surname will be Eddie. Then I'll change his color to red. Alright, so I change his color to red. Let's execute that. Okay, so there's alright, because I didn't end with that quote. Now let's execute that. So I think there's something. Let me go back, copy that, paste it. Okay. So I said let me just say, let's make it John Matt. Okay, let me change the color to red. Now we need to add his contact, his ID. So where we have, yes, so John, though we are going to copy his ID number. Yeah, I think that was a mistake I did earlier on. So execute that. Yes, it works now. So contact updated successfully. So if we go back to our main contacts, we don't have to see John Doe there. We have to see John Matt with the color changing from blue to red. Okay, so John Matt color change to red. Alright, so it works perfectly. So now let's just delete this account that we've created. So when I go there, I can just delete it by the user ID I had. So I'll just paste it there. So execute that. It tells me that the contact has been deleted. So I don't have to see John Matt with color red in my data again. So let me go and run that. Execute. So if I run that, yes, so the record of John is gone, meaning that the delete button is equally working. So realize that I'm able to test all my APIs here on a different platform rather than my code I wrote in VS Code. So Swagger gives me the opportunity to test all these APIs that assignment is giving us in a different browser or in a different platform other than my code. So I do that using my render domain name. So render domain name use here, and I add the extension or the endpoint API/docs, and that brought me to this platform for me to be able to test all these APIs. Thank you.